Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining the Mike Lee Show. And tonight, I have the one and only. I've been a huge fan of his for a long time, since Hidden Beach, and it is the one and only Mr. Jeff Bradshaw. Jeff, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, it's a
Thank you for
pleasure to
having me.
have you. I want to tell the audience a little bit about you, those who have been hidden under a rock, maybe, and don't know who Jeff Bradshaw is. He was born in North Philadelphia. Jeff Bradshaw is known as a soul jazz, hip hop funk innovator, and in 2003, he released his solo debut, Bone Deep, which earned him critical acclaim throughout the music industry and among his fans. His signature smooth sound secured his consistent spot on the festival circuit as a solo act, and he performed with such acts such as Jill Scott, The Roots, and Mary J. Blige. Jeff Bradshaw has a brand new album out. Please go get it. Listen to the songs, by the single, buy the album. It's called Stronger, which was released last Friday and is available now for purchase. Please help me welcome Jeff Bradshaw. Jeff, I want to get right into this album, brother. Um, First of all, how have you been doing with everything that's been going on with COVID, with election, with Black Lives Matters? It's been a whirlwind of things going on this year, man. How have you been doing?
I'm just, leaning on the grace of God, man, and
Mm-hmm.
family, and doing the best we can to get through a difficult time. And, I've done some musical activism with the Clarion Call for Justice, where I moved around the country in a few places and gathered horn players to for musical protests
Mm-hmm.
around the country, and just to say what I had to say about what I felt like wasn't right. It's starting with George Floyd, but it doesn't begin or end with him. But he was the catalyst for getting me in the street and off the couch and out of the house, and mask on and gloves on, and we went in the street and did what we had to do, man. And the Clarion Call for Justice.
Now, when you talk about that, explain to us what that mission and that would be. What would you guys all get together and do?
Well, basically, my friend Randy Robinson helped me name it a Clarion Call for Justice, and I started playing. I started at City Hall
Mm-hmm.
when I played the Black National Anthem for the Divine Nine March. And then I felt like I needed to do more. I had a dream about being on the steps of the Art Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Philly, the Art Museum steps are where Rocky ran up in the Rocky movie. And I had a dream about being surrounded by horn players as far as the eye could see on the rock. And I went online and went on my phone and tried to call and as many horn players as I could find that was scared to come out during the middle of a pandemic and meet me in the front of the steps of the Art Museum, and let's get together and jam and fight for our rights to have fair things happen with our police department, and which I believe and respect and need support the police department. Excessive force and the wrongful deaths of people under the hands of people that aren't good people, that aren't good cops, is what we were rallying against. And just this systemic racism all around the country and the things that were happening. We're just rising up against all kinds of evil in this country. And we did it here in New York, DC, and we moved it around the country a little bit. And it was called the Clarion Call for Justice, and it was something I was very proud to be a part of. Very, very proud to be a co-founder with my boy Sam Gillistein and Trey Lambert. We performed for the Pennsylvania DNC, and we just wanted to touch people. People came out. We did rallies for George Floyd, for Breonna Taylor, for racial justice, for everything that people were in the streets about. Just no more. No more. Just rallying against evil.
Yeah,
that's what I call it.
it
Because
is.
anytime you can stay, kneel on a man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, there's something evil inside you.
Yeah.
So I felt like I needed to be a part of something, and that's what I did, and also which drew me to have the album cover that I have on this album.
Wow. Who did the album cover, the artwork?
An amazing artist out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, named Stacy Brown.
Kudos.
He's incredible. On Instagram, he's s.art. And I think it's S, the word dot. I think it's S dot, then the word dot art.
Gotcha.
But Stacy Brown is the name, out of Harrisburg. He's an incredible artist. He did that painting on the wall behind me of me and my father. And I had him, had this picture, and I had him paint it. And I scanned the painting to make the album cover. Wow. And then the album artwork, the complete body of album artwork, was done by my boy Fred with I3 Designs out of Baltimore.
Beautiful, beautiful work. I want to jump right into this incredible album because when I hear it, it speaks to me. I feel it very spiritual. It speaks to me, especially coming out of COVID, the word stronger, and some of the brilliant information, the lyrics, the beautiful melodies, the incredible vocals, handpicked to me. Handpicked.
Absolutely.
To be on some of these selections. Do you feel this album holds a special place, out of all the work that you've done, holds a special place with your audience in a way that it's a shift of energy with the music that you're making, with what's going on in the world, that in hopes that as we come out of this whole thing, we're all stronger? Do you feel it's a shift of energy in this music?
Absolutely. Halfway in, I felt like that God completely took over this creative process, and no matter when I wanted it to come out, God had already had it preordained and predestined to when it was going to come out. And for the album to come out like 4 days before Election Day.
See what I'm talking about?
The 4 days before Election Day, or just to work out that way, and it wasn't ready. We had to push it back. We pushed it back about 6 times. It's been pushed back about 6 times, and
ready to get to where it was
3-4 days before Election Day. I felt like it was very important for this record to come out. That I feel like that the world needs this record right now.
Amen. Yeah.
I feel like the world needs this record right now. I just feel like it's so much love and musical accountability on this record. You know, it's all the things I'm inspired by. It's jazz, it's funk, it's soul, it's R&B. It's all the things that inspire me. All the artists that I've toured with, all the artists that I've performed with, all the artists that I've recorded with. It's everything that I am. And that's why out of the last 4 years, after I've been through my illness and injuries and going through some personal trials, I am definitely stronger. And I'm stronger because of the grace of God. And that spared my life and put the right people around me. And I have some great mentors, some strong praying men, some great mentors. And I just have good people around me. I have a praying mother and some prayer warriors out there that I don't even know who they are, but I know I felt the prayers of many people that helped me recover from my illness, and then to recover from the shame of not having health insurance, the shame of spending all my money on health coverage, spending all my money on medical bills because I didn't have health insurance, and coming from all of that, and then for the last 3 years that God has put me on the road, and I've worked more in the last 3 years than I have worked in the last 20. You know, so I put my trust in God. That's how I'm here. That's how the people on this album hearts were touched when I asked them to be a part of it. The producers, the writers, I kept trying to sign a new record deal, and the doors weren't closing. They just weren't super available. And I felt like it's time to put this record out. It's time to put this record out. I need to work on getting another deal. And one of my mentors and big brothers,
DJ
where I
Jeff.
recorded where I recorded this album, DJ Jazzy Jeff at the Hampton Studios. He said, "You already have a fan base and a following. Put your own record out. You know how. This is your fourth album on 2 labels. I put out 3 albums on 2 different labels, Hidden Beach and Shanachie." He was like, "You know what to do. Put in the work, invest in you, bet on you." I told my manager and Myron Ruffin, I said, "I'm gonna put this record out myself. Let's see if we can get a distribution deal." And distribution deal came easy with this record. You know, all you gotta do is send them the music. You know, and George Littlejohn and Russell of Nia Distribution, you know, a division of E1, they jumped on it and got on this journey with me. So Stronger has been released on Bone Deep Enterprises.
Oh, that's great.
Bone Deep Enterprises.
Your first album, that's awesome. Yeah.
Bone Deep Enterprises.
Yeah.
God is good, man. And it's my best work.
Well,
I say that without, I say that with a clear and strong mind. And Stronger is my best work.
The beauty of your work to me is everything has gotten stronger and stronger over the progression up to this pivotal point. It's because all of the albums were great, but this is the best work because it's just gotten better and better. You played with some great acts, the legendary Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, Patti LaBelle. When you're creating your body of work, what's your process of choosing the right singer? And I ask this question. For example, I Do, that could have only been sung by Marsha Ambrosia. Pretty Baby could have only been sung by Paula. And then Better by my girl Amber from Moonchild. These specific selections, these are beautiful songs, all very different, with different singers, different ways of expression. How do you pick these pieces, man? Because it's just so, Raheem Devon, it's Mickey, on, the people that you pick. Incredible selections of songs, but picking those people, what's that process?
Thinking about where I want to go, because a record, these albums that I'm making, and I know they're CDs, but I'm old school. And they're always going to be, I call them albums. I know it's a CD, but these records individually, or these songs, when I create this whole body of work like a movie. I imagine how the album should start and how it should feel in the middle and how it should end. And I'll keep recording when I figure out what vibe I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't hear it, then I'll reach out to people that I've worked with or people who I want to work with. This record has people on it that I've worked with before and people on it that I have not. Mickey Miller produced that song, Closure.
Wow.
She produced, not only she sang on it, she produced it. Daniel Crawford produced Cape Town. Daniel Crawford is Jazzy Jeff, Raphael Sadiq, Chris Dave and the drum heads. Daniel Crawford is just, and June Burvine, who produced Better. Me and June, one of my best friends, Philadelphia producer, keyboardist, touring artist, touring musician extraordinaire. Last time we worked together was on the first album, which was June produced my very first single, Slide, featuring Jill Scott.
Wow.
And we produced together Beyond the Stars by Glenn Lewis. June and I have worked together in 3 albums. So it was great to go back to where I started, to one of my brothers, June, and worked with my musical director of my band, Mr. Brandon Young, and we produced Stay together, featuring Jeff Morrell and the magnificent DJ Jazzy Jeff. So, I mean, I've worked with a lot of different Not a lot, but a few different producers on this record. I produced a lot of the record. I co-produced a lot of the record. I executive produced the album. But it all depends on where I am. I like working with the right creative people. You know, I produced most of the live stuff in the studio. Pretty Baby, Nights Over Egypt. Big major credit to my band, because I basically took my band in the studio. Harry Wilson on guitar, Mike Nelson on drums, Aaron Hardin was playing keys, Eric Watley played bass. I mean, these guys, Daryl Burgee on percussion. The song features Lynn Roundtree and Marquel Jordan, trumpet and sax.
The percussion and the drummer, the beat was just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and these are young cats, man. These are young cats, but I respect the music. I mean, it's Dexter Wanzel.
Exactly.
I'm a Philly guy. You got to make sure if you're gonna touch that song, it's got to be appropriate. Remember, I'm the same guy who redid Make It Funky.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. You know, I'm a student of this game, and I understand there's certain songs, you touch them, you better put your foot in it, because the purists are listening. The original funk purists, they're listening. When I did Make It Funky with Bilal and I assembled an all-star recording squad: James Poyser, John Roberts, Derek Hodge, the late great Jeff Lee Johnson on guitar. Like, I assembled giants to even touch that song, you know, and Ty Tribbett and his choir was like the background, and I called him Bilal, because who else was going to be James Brown but Bilal? You know, so that was Bone Deep. That was 17 years ago. That was 17 years ago. Bone Deep is 17 years old, my first album. But it's like, same thing with Nights Over Egypt. It was like, I understood what that song was. Here's something that's even more divine about Nights Over Egypt. We recorded most of these songs, most of the live stuff at Jazzy Jeff's, the Hampton Studios in Bear, Delaware. I don't know if you noticed, but you may not see it when you downloaded it, but next to Nights, you see what it says next to Nights Over Egypt? Valerie Jones, one of the Jones girls. Okay. And I'm not sure if Jones was her last name at this point, but I know her name was Val. They called her Val.
In the beginning, because they
called her Val.
For Val.
She was in Bear, Delaware, the same day that we were recording this song. She doesn't live in Delaware. I think she flew in from Detroit to visit her daughter, who lived in Bear, Delaware.
What?
She was walking to the store and was struck and killed by a car. On the day in Bear, Delaware, the same day that we were recording this song. We didn't know it until we took a break and we were watching the news, and they showed famous singer Valerie, blah, 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 from the Jones Girls was struck and killed by a car while visiting her daughter in town from Detroit, while visiting her daughter in Bear, Delaware. The room went silent. True story. We recorded Nights Over Egypt the same day that Val was killed.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah. So, of course, I recorded this song for her.
Of course.
This song became a tribute to her and for her. So, next to Nights Over Egypt, it says for Val, because she ascended in the same city we were in Bear, Delaware. What are the chances that we'll be in Bear, Delaware the same day that God took her home? So it was an honor to record that song, and an honor to show love to their legacy and Dexter Wanzel, you know, to perform that song. So that's why it says for Val next to Nights Over Egypt. About that. And I refused to look to see when she was killed, and to look into the computer to see what time it was.
Time of day.
What time it was that we were recording the song. I refused to look.
Yeah.
I didn't look. I refuse to look. But yes, so that's why we dedicated A Night to Be Egypt to that.
Yes. Wow, man. Let's take us back a little bit, because we've talked a little bit about all these great things. Tell everybody how you got started in this business, and of all instruments, the trombone.
I was born and raised in a church called the United House of Prayer for All People, where brass bands are at the forefront of the music ministry. I went to school. My father was a minister for many years. He played trombone, trumpet, and guitar, and he sang. I wanted to do whatever he did. I watched him. I sat on the front pew as a child. I watched my father lead the band, walk the aisles of the church with his trombone, playing and singing. And he was like the dopest cat I'd ever seen. He was just an awesome fixture in my life. And the late Norman Bradshaw. So I wanted to be like him. So when I went to high school, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to play. And I always tell the story that the music teacher said, everybody stand by the instrument you want to play. People standing around the drums, around the bass guitar, the saxophones, guitar, and it was like a stack of trombones in the corner. Nobody wanted to play trombone. So I was like, I grew up around it. My dad played it. I play a little. I'm gonna play bone. Everybody want to take the easy ride out and easy way out, and use these, jump on board with these easy instruments. But I was like, I'm gonna play this because my dad played it. They played in my church. I'm used to it, and my dad taught me how to play it, and that's what I did. I chose trombone, but trombone chose me because I was born around it. I was born with it. I'm self-taught. There's no musical institution that can take credit for anything that I have musically in my mind. I was born with everything I needed, and my mother carried Bradshaw's womb, and I refined it by taking lessons here and there, and surrounded myself by incredible educators that I toured with. So, I mean, being that, jumping out in the Philly music scene, to Silk City, to Fifth and Spring Garden in Philly, to Silk City with DJ King, Britt, and Dazia, and Questlove DJing, and with live bands, moving my way around the city in these DJ band kind of sets. I didn't come up in Philly in the Philly jazz circuit, because I didn't go to college. I didn't graduate with all the guys who studied jazz and at Kappa, the College of Performing Arts, or the High School of Performing Arts. I didn't grow up in the midst of any of that stuff. What I did was I came up in the club scene. I came up with the DJs and band, DJ and band, where the DJ plays music and the band plays right behind me.
Right.
The band picks up from where the DJ leaves up. We call that in Philly, we call that vibing. That's what I came up with, 91, 92, 93, 94. Like, that's what I was doing. Figuring it out, finding my way, but staying hard in the Philly music scene. And I found my way into a Touch of Jazz recording studio, which is where DJ Jazzy Just Production House, with the Misfits, with these 6 amazing producers, Darren Henson, Keith Peltzer, Ivan Barrios, Carvin Higgins, Andre Harris, Vidal Davis. You might know these names. You might, I call them the architects, and I think the music industry calls them architects as well. The architects, some of the architects of the neo soul sound out of Philadelphia, like Jill Scott, Kendrick the Family Soul, Music Soul Child, Flowetry. These guys were responsible for that. Butterflies with Michael Jackson. That was Marsha and Dre Harris. Marsha and Dre Harris, and your boy on trombone.
Wow.
So I came up around all of that, and with James Poison and Amir Questlove Thompson. Questlove. That's how I got called to play on Other Side of the Game with Erykah Badu. A lot of people even know that was me playing horns on that song. That's me playing the horns on Other Side of the Game.
I know.
With Erykah Badu's first record. A lot of big records I played on. Lots of big records I played on. A lot of big albums. And that's how I found my way. And I just found my way from studio to studio, from studio room to studio room, just playing on every record I could.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really about trying to get paid. It was just trying to build legacy and trying to build these relationships. And the money will come.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's how I got started in the Philly music scene. Man.
So you released your very first album, Bone Deep, in 2003. How have you grown, Jeff Bradshaw? How have you grown as a musician, as a man?
I mean, it's really about just never settling, knowing that you can be better. Understanding that no matter where you are, how good you feel about what you're doing, that you can be better, and believing that God has something greater for you. But I'm always searching for the next level. I'm always, we're constantly students of the game, students of the music. And I'm just constantly trying to be better, because I know that there's some kid out there in his basement practicing every day, coming for my neck.
Right.
Somebody in their basement right now.
Yeah.
Shit in the woodshed.
Yeah.
Trying to get better. And I have to continue. I understand it. I know that in their studio, got their home studio, in there creating and trying to come for my neck. And I know that every album I put out, it has to be like, I don't want to disappoint them, but I want them to know that even though you're in the studio and you got access to a studio in your apartment and you're in this shed, that Jeff Bradshaw is going to continue to raise the bar. 5, 9, 10, 5, because that's what we do. We push each other. I see these cats. I see these young trombone players with their own studios, and I see them. They inspire me. They push me. They inspire me. Not only do they inspire me, but they push me to reach for higher levels. That's why every album I put out, because of the grace of God, I've been able to take them to another level. Now this record, people didn't think that, people were like, how you gonna outdo like Jeff Bradshaw and Friends Home, the live album? How you gonna outdo that?
Yeah.
It's like, nah. It took me 4 years, but I did it. It took me 4 years, but I did it. With Troy, Trombone Shorty. I had a conversation with him when he was talking. He was like, I was like, yeah, man, I'm so excited to be done this record. He was like, you done it? I was like, I mean, you were busy. You were moving around a little bit. He was like, man. I was like, I got a hot track, man, produced by my boy Mike Burton. And he was like, send it to me. I sent it to him. He was like, this is fire. I said, if you got time, I got to wrap this thing up in the next 2 weeks.
Which one was it?
War and Thunder, the first song on the album.
Oh, the first one. Yeah.
I said, and that's somehow the last.
The last one was the first one.
He gave me a date about 9 days from the day we talked. I flew to New Orleans, and Mike Burton, the producer of the record, and featured sax player on two songs on the album, Pretty Baby and Cape Town. Mike met us there. Mike met me in New Orleans. He drove from Atlanta to New Orleans. I flew to New Orleans. In 9 days, we stayed down there 2 days. And I recorded that song in Trombone Shorty studio. And his beautiful world-class studio that he built. Shout out to Troy and his head of production there, Charlie. They're just good people, man. Troy's a good person, man. He's just, that Southern hospitality, and all my friends there. Big Sam Williams, Drew Baham, Delphio Marsalis, Walt, all my guys from the Stooges Brass Band. Like, I got a lot of friends down there, man. And those guys, man, I've got nothing but love. Even when I shot my video down there with Marsha from the Bon Appetit album in 2012, we shot Got Till It's Gone, the remake of the Joni Mitchell, Janet Jackson song. And we shot, and guys let me shoot on their porches, in their homes, and around their neighborhoods. We shot the video, man. If you haven't seen it, man, you gotta check it out. It's just Got Till It's Gone from the Bon Appetit album.
I will check it out.
Yeah, featuring Marsha and T-Wise, Marsha's DJ, who she toured with. Marsha, T-Wise, a minister and huge Christian rapper in the Philadelphia tri-state Jersey area. But DJ Active, Marsha's DJ at the time, who also toured with Janet Jackson. Philly Cat, who was on tour with Marsha at the time. He's in the video as well. So it's a great piece, and I show love. I went back to New Orleans and was like, nah, it ain't done yet. Like, it's been several years, and it ain't really back the way it should be. They didn't build it like they rebuilt it. So I went back down and shot my video there to show people that, it's been like 7-8 years, and we still here. This is what the Fifth Ward looked like. This is what the Lower Nine looked like. This is what it looks like. People need to be reminded when CNN pull out, and everybody, CNN, Fox News, everybody, MSNBC, everybody pull out. You know what I'm saying? But it was beautiful. And so I've been blessed, man, to work with some incredible people. I recorded that song with Trombone Shorty and flew home on the first day of Mardi Gras. And got out of there. Flew home on the first day of Mardi Gras. And when I got home, I was like, it was like a Bible moment. I was like, it is finished. I was like, now we're done.
First of all, Stronger, the word Stronger and the album. How did they correlate with you? Why did you name the album Stronger? You could have named it anything. But out of this body of work and that word, how do they correlate with you?
Because first of all, one, the album is the strongest of all 4 of my albums. One reason, because it is the strongest of my 4 albums. So it is stronger than the other albums. 2, because of what I've been through and what I've overcome because of God's grace. I'm personally stronger. I'm spiritually stronger. I'm emotionally stronger. I'm mentally stronger. Because I am a better trombone player. I am a stronger horn player, a stronger producer, writer. I am stronger because I decided not to have a record deal. I'm now a stronger executive. I understand, after being in the streets and having talked to people and dealing with racial divide, I understand I have a stronger understanding of what it means to get in the street and march. It was the first time in my life that I ever got in the street and protested anything. But I have a stronger understanding of what it feels like and what it means to be in the street, like my parents did in 1968 when they killed Dr. King. Everything about me, my relationship with my mother is stronger. My relationship with my children is stronger. But most importantly, my relationship with the God I love and serve is stronger. What we're going to be when we come out of all of this is stronger as a country and as human beings.
This album is called Stronger. If there is someone watching this interview and need to be encouraged, what message of hope can you give, Mr. Trombone?
God is the joy and the strength of my life. That's what I got. I'm a good person. I strive to be a better person every day. A better man, a better father, a better musician. Now a better executive. A better trombone player, a better producer. Everything I try to be, I just try to be better every day. I'm led by my humility because I know how long it took me to get here. And I know that as God continues to excel my success, I still just want to be a guy who came from the hood of North Philly, who grew up in church, who believed in God, self-taught, and took the world over.
Well said, brother. How can everybody follow you on Instagram?
I am Jeff Bradshaw on all social media.
Okay, wonderful.
I am Jeff Bradshaw on all social media, and my website is iamjeffbradshaw.com. Nice and simple.
Plain and simple. And they can buy the album that way too. The album is on all platforms, right?
Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, it's everywhere.
Mr. Bradshaw, thank you for an incredible interview.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother, for your gift. Thank you for your spirit. And thank you for this incredible body of work. It's a peacemaker. It's a healer. You can hear it in the music, the love and the healing. We need so much more of this.
Yeah.
Now, man, music is what functions and kind of organically, it's who we are in our culture. And
Right.
our music has changed. It's changed, and our culture right now needs healing.
Thank you, brother.
More of this,
Help me
man.
tell my story. Help me tell my story, man.
Yeah,
Because
brother.
this is not just an album. It's just another chapter in my story.
Yeah.
Please help me tell my story, and let's touch people's hearts, and let's change the world of music.
Amen,
Thank
bro.
you, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight right here on the Mike Lee Show with this incredible artist, Mr. Jeff Bradshaw. We'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Lessons, and I hold on to this second chance. And I realize that there's a power within the silence of my heartbeat. Because the greatest thing that I will ever accomplish in life is the morning in which I'm alive.